It's 10 o'clock. We will now call the meeting to order. We note that the three members of the City Hall Fire Protection District are present. And at this point, we open the meeting for public comments. Please limit yourself to 3 minutes. Hearing none.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jill.
I guess I'll go first. My name is Evelyn Messenger, and I live in the Fire Protection District. I just want to say I have 3 minutes, and I don't think I'll use that much time. I want to say that I've been researching recently whether there's ever been a stated need for a new disaster center in this area, and I haven't been able to find it. I did find, when I searched, I found in the Marin County website, it says that they need a new command center, and apparently that's under control. But there's never been, that I can see, any indication that there's a need for disaster center here. And I just want to point to the minutes of your meeting from November 27, 2013. And I just want to read a line from your minutes. Director Shortall stated that the clubhouse would not likely qualify as a designated shelter staffed and supported by the Red Cross. Instead, because of the clubhouse's location and limited sleeping power, bathing, and dining capacities, the clubhouse would likely be considered a secondary shelter by the county's Office of Emergency Services, but as a rally point for district residents. And I would like to, I think this makes it pretty clear that there may be actually no need for a shelter here at all. And I do believe that the Fire Protection District needs an office. And I hope that you would consider finding or even building as part of this building a new office. And that to pay $2 million, 80% of the cost of a new building for what essentially is a rally point seems excessive as well as arbitrary. I don't think that there's been sufficient either, there's no alternatives have been put on the table. We don't know how to put alternatives on the table. And I did a public records request, and there doesn't appear to be any budgets, any kind of discussions of agreements, how the whole thing would work, liability for the Fire Protection District. These records don't exist. Not that they're not available, they don't exist. So I hope you'll rethink this plan before you agree to it. Thank you.
I think the basic point is that those are very good points.
Thank you.
We indeed plan to take that up, and we indeed have notified a public meeting on August the 9th where we discuss this. This meeting is not for that discussion, and I don't think it's appropriate for us to answer you because it wasn't properly noticed. We appreciate it, and we certainly expect to see you and hear from you on August the 9th. Is that what you would say, Tom? Rich? Okay. Any other public comment? Yes?
Yes. Hi, Frank.
I would just like to reiterate the little problem that we have in finding out about the meetings. And I know you're doing the legal notice, and I also know that Tom and I have emailed, and he has said he will let me know about the meetings, but in fact we emailed about this one, and you never did get back to me. So you said you would, our last email was, shall I send you the notice when we get the time and date and everything, and I said, yes, please do, and never heard any more. Well, I know you have a lot to do, and I don't ask for special privileges, but it is difficult. Your website, I think you've been told, is a little obscure, and it doesn't always function as the common person can use. I think of myself as fairly tech literate, but I can't often find things on it. So I would ask that you consider in your deliberations, how do you let people know about your meetings? Because this has now become a matter of real interest in the community. And people would like to be sitting here just hearing what's going on. That's all we need, is we just want to be part of the process, the whole process. And I'm not seeing that this is a very simple matter to accomplish. It is going around my emails through the residents at the moment, and I don't think that is the best way to handle it. The other thing I would like to bring up is the November 27th minutes, which have just come out on the website. You were kind enough to furnish me with them on public records request, where the $25,000 was put into the homeowners for the plan development to make it what you wanted. But how do you know what you want when people have not had enough input to say, yes, that is what you should be designing for. That is the best and most accommodating, most public benefit for everybody in the district. So please spend the money on that. So when I read that you already put $25,000 in to do some plan modifications, I'm thinking, gee, I would like to have had something to say about that before the money went out. Thank you.
Yeah, this isn't the time to engage in dialogue, but I should just put on the record that several residents have asked for special notice of all meetings. I emailed the special notices directly to them in plenty of time. I sent an email to Carol about this meeting. She responded back and said, great, I will be there.
No,
I can produce that email at any time. So obviously you know about the meeting because you're here. So the people who've asked for special individualized notice will continue to get that. Otherwise, we'll follow the customary practice that we followed for years, which is to post it on our website and post it on the clubhouse, which is the primary conspicuous location within the district.
I will send you the email so that you more readily understand where the miscommunication was, and perhaps we can straighten this out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other public comment?
And if you don't mind, I'm John Vanderwall, longtime resident. And I know you just said tonight, when you field these questions and discussion. Unfortunately, I won't be here. I'll be at my mom's in this coast. So I just wanted to say, for the record, that I support this. I think you guys are doing a great job. I appreciate that you're looking after our interests as a community within unincorporated Lorraine County and Sleepy Hollow. And keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, the thing that we often get is the minority who have a complaint, and we feel like, oh my goodness, we hear more brickbats coming through the window. But I sense that our little group is strongly supported by Sleepy Hollow, and I appreciate that. And thank you.
I'm glad I was working from home, so I can come down and say my piece.
Oh, another public commenter.
Yes, my name is Kim Spencer, and I've been a property owner in Sleepy Hollow for 20 years. And I am aware that I pay taxes to support the fire protection here, but up until this spring, I really did not know anything about the process. And I was not fully notified of the April 6th meeting that I know of, and only heard about it later. My concern is the lack of information about public meetings and what is happening there. The minutes of that meeting are still not up on the website. I've heard from one of you that there were more than a couple dozen commenters. I think that information should be available before the start of the 30-day period before a meeting so that the public would have a chance to make use of that information. I think in the modern day, it's a lot easier to get information available to the public. I've heard that there was a problem with the recording of that particular session. I'd be glad to volunteer my services, as I've already made some suggestions on how to better improve the communications of this group so that we homeowners can easily learn about it without having to drive out here and look every day to see if there's something posted on a signboard here to learn about what's going on. I'm happy to offer my services. I've recorded this session. I can post it on YouTube so that you can easily transcribe all the words and be happy to do that. However, until this process is cleaned up and is improved, I think it does raise a lot of questions from people who don't know, just don't know what's going on. I would point out this, which also came in the mail to me this week from the Marin Emergency Radio Authority, a very informative document. I don't know if it's accurate, but I do know it is very clear and straightforward in presenting facts, and there is a easy to pull off little place to send in comments and a process. I would suggest that if you do have $2 million and more in your reserve, that you consider getting professional communications help, not PR, but communications in helping to communicate with the taxpayers who you would like to support your activities. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank you for your service. I know this is a non-paid position and not easy in a time like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public commenters? Hearing none, I think that it's now time to do the purpose of this meeting, which is to appoint a spokesman regarding the activities of the district in respect to a request by the Homes Association for the district to participate in the Sleepy Hollow clubhouse rebuild. And what we're doing here is recognizing that we're going down the path, and we want somebody that is available to speak for the three of us so you don't get three different stories when three different phones ring. And at this point, I believe it's appropriate for some other person, which is you, Mr. Finn, to make the motion.
I move that we appoint Director Shortall as our spokesperson. There are a number of good reasons for that. The primary one being that Rich has over 30 years' experience in emergency management services, both as a senior commander in the San Francisco Fire Department and the Director of Emergency Services in San Francisco, but also he's worked with the Department of Homeland Security. He's one of the senior people affiliated with the Marin County Red Cross. He has relationships across the emergency management services throughout the state of California, and because of his subject matter expertise, I think he's the appropriate person to appoint.
I will certainly second that motion, and I think that's a majority, and so we can presume, public comments? No. The motion is
Because you have to
passed.
say he doesn't want to do it.
What you're seeing here is a junta. It is a pleasure to work for a junta rather than what we see in so many other Marin County organizations. Thank you.
So you seconded it, so
Yeah.
now you have to call the vote. So,
All in favor?
aye.
Unanimous?
Motion passed. All right. I think that's the extent of our business for today.
Yep, and so now we're looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make such a motion.
Second. All in favor?
All right.
Adjourn.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Ed.
Me personally, give me a call and then set that up.
45 minutes from where we are. Appreciate your